What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Legitico Response. This is a news program. We love to cover some news that you're not going to hear in the mainstream. And what we got for today is definitely something you're not going to hear in the mainstream because they don't want this information to get out. And as a matter of fact, the information in this case is actually missing. It is gone missing. There's been several motions to release the documents that we're about to be talking about, and they have been ignored. And this is right. We're talking about Trump. This is pretty good news for Trump in his Georgia documents RICO case. The mainstream loves to gaslight everybody on the right. They just love to push their narratives and make people question, were they wrong for following Trump? Are all these cases against Trump legitimate? They make you question it, and you've seen the evidence, so you know what's going on, but you get something like this comes up, and it just reaffirms everything you believed in, and just reaffirms that the mainstream is evil. That's all there is to it, man. You can't say much else. They're just simply evil. If they're willing to hide evidence and bury somebody under false allegations, it's just terrible. Allow democracy to play out how it's supposed to play out. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't give you the right to try to take somebody away that is willing to put themselves on the line to help change a country for the better and expose them for who they are, snakes in the grass. I can't stand the mainstream at all, and this is one of the reasons why. Enough of me ranting, let's go ahead and get into it. Update. Criminal defense attorneys for Fulton County 2020 ballot review case abruptly file motion to withdraw representation for Fulton County respondents. Yes, that's right. We're getting into 2020 election meddling stuff. And this specific case is pretty much Trump's whole basis for this RICO case, his whole basis for going in there and wanting to look at ballots, wanting to check the machines. Because he got wind there was some funny business going on. This was that phone call that he made to the Georgia governor saying, find these votes, which that's something else I don't get. People interpret that as he was trying to tell the governor to make up votes. I mean, come on. If you believe that Trump called a governor and told him to create 11,000 votes, you are insane. Or the mainstream media has gotten to you with their propaganda, because if you listen to that phone call, all Trump is saying is, look, there was some funny business going on. There are a bunch of fake votes, I should say, not necessarily missing votes. There's a bunch of fake ballots. Find those ballots. Find this stuff so we can get this election settled. This specific case was dismissed on standing. And now that the evidence has kind of come out, the evidence is missing, it kind of makes you wonder, all the other 30-something cases that were dismissed upon standing, where was the evidence for those? What was the evidence for those? We don't get to know that stuff, so we have no idea. That was all dismissed and buried. But let's go ahead and get into it. Yes, there is still a pending lawsuit regarding the 2020 presidential election in Fulton County. Favorito et al. V. Juan et al. I'm sorry, I know I probably screwed that up, but, you know, I'm only an idiot, so I'm sorry. I know I screwed that up. I'll call it Favorito v. Juan. Was filed back in December 2020 in the Fulton County Superior Court, but was abruptly dismissed in October 2021 for issues over standing, right? That means that they just dismissed the case, saying that Trump had no right to sue Fulton County over whatever. They didn't look at the evidence. They didn't see the merits of the case. They just said he has no right to sue for this reason. That, to me, it blows my mind. If you have something as important as an election and there is a legitimate lawsuit, you need to look at the merits of that case. I'm sorry, dismissing it upon standing is just totally wrong. It's crazy. You know, it's like somebody, if I was superhuman and I picked somebody's truck up and threw it off a cliff, and then they tried to sue me, bring in the case, telling the judge, this guy picked my truck up and threw it off a cliff. The judge is going to say, what? You're crazy. Get out of here. He's going to dismiss it upon standing. There could be a video of me actually doing it. Don't care. That's impossible, he's going to say. That's basically what they're doing here. They're dismissing it without looking at all the evidence, which to me is wrong. Gaslighting the shit out of everybody. Let's keep going. The plaintiffs appealed and eventually had the dismissal overturned after the Georgia Supreme Court ruled on a key case, Henry County Board of Commissioners v. Sons of Confederate Veterans, that ensured voters do have standing to bring a case. That's right. That's the only reason we're getting any of this information. In the early stages of the Favorito case, back in May 2021, the Gateway Pundit reported that respondents in the case had detained Donald Samuel and Amanda Clark, two top criminal defense lawyers in the civil case that was attempting to review the physical paper ballots in the county. The pair of attorneys were representing Fulton County Board of Registrations and Elections, Teresa Crawford and Aaron Johnson, the two Democratic members. When the case was remanded back to the Superior Court rather than be assigned to the original judge, Judge Brian Amaro, it was instead assigned to the Judge Robert McBurney on May 16, 2023. Favorito filed a motion to recuse Judge McBurney after he presided over Fulton County DA Fannie Willis's 2020 election grand jury and released private excerpts from the grand jury report, according to Voter GA press release. Wow. Crazy. Despite Georgia law requiring the motion to be addressed within 90 days, it is still awaiting a decision and a trial date. That's just crazy. On Tuesday, the criminal defense attorney for the Fulton County Board of Registrations and Elections, Aaron Johnson and Teresa Crawford, filed a motion with the court to withdraw as attorneys for the respondents. These people know the evidence is there, so they're getting out of this case before they get in trouble, essentially. The withdrawal comes days after a November 3rd hearing where a defendant in the Donald Trump RICO case, Harrison Floyd, filed subpoenas to release the 2020 election records held by the Georgia Secretary of State's office in Fulton County. So there you go. These people saw this and was like, holy crap, this case is going to fall apart. And it is. They need to release those ballots. It was 150,000 ballots, 97% of which were votes for Joe Biden. And as a matter of fact, looking further into this, the ballots appeared to be copied. All the ovals were there, the seals and all this. So, yeah, this case is going to fall apart, and this is great news for Trump. Responding to a motion to quash subpoenas, Floyd's attorneys argued that if they proved Donald Trump won Fulton County and Georgia, the RICO indictment would go away. They then argued that Fulton County doesn't want to hand over the records requested because they simply don't have them. Fulton County Board of Registrations admitted they failed to retain the majority of ballots images from in-person voting for the November 3rd, 2020 election original machine count. In other words, they threw this evidence away, got rid of it, or they're just sitting on it and don't want to come off of it because they know it's going to burn down that case. That case is going to go away. So there's some really funny business going on in Georgia with this RICO case, and I really can't wait to see when all this evidence comes out, because if that is true, that means all those other cases for Donald Trump's election interference BS, the other 30-something cases that were dismissed upon standing, need to be reviewed. They need to be looked at. If somehow the Democrats were able to actually steal an election, we need to know about it. That goes completely against our democracy, and we really need to know about it. We need to know what the truth is, regardless of which way it went. Look, if it comes down to it that somebody forged these ballots, right? and it was, say, the Republicans trying to blame it on the Democrats. We need to know this. We need to know if Donald Trump is actually a seditionist, in other words. But from the evidence that we've seen, it doesn't appear to be that way. It appears to be small groups here and there of Democrats that were willing to throw democracy away to save democracy. That makes no sense whatsoever. It's evil, it's wrong, and we should stand up to it, and we need to know the truth. That's all I'm getting at. We need to know what really went on, and them hiding evidence like this is just BS, in my opinion, and we need to pressure these people to release this evidence, get this evidence out there. Of course, they don't want it out there. But we know for a fact Hillary Clinton was willing to make up all kind of evidence to push the Russian collusion hoax. So we know if Hillary Clinton was willing to do that to stop Donald Trump, imagine how much further they are willing to go after he was in office for 4 years. His whole presidential term was bullshit, essentially. It was fake hoax after fake hoax after fake hoax. They impeached him on some BS. So it just shows you that they are willing to play dirty to get the job done. And it appears that that's what they did. But, like I said, we want to know the truth. We want to know what really went on. And that's all I'm saying, and that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want to thank everybody for watching. And, don't forget to hit that like button for me if you don't mind. I forgot to say that at the beginning of the damn video, damn it. Leave a comment, though. Let me know what you think about all this. Do you think this is a big nothing burger? Do you think that the Democrats actually were willing to falsify mail-in ballots to get Donald Trump out of office? Let me know what you think. But, yeah, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. And, like I said, don't forget to hit that like button. And, be positive. Peace.